Back again with another episode of Dropping Bombs. Today in the studio, folks, I got a real treat. As always, Allan Chang in the house. What's up, Allan?
How you doing, Brad?
Folks, if you guys don't know who this guy is, that's probably because you've never been to the Peppermint Hippo here in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is one of the most elite premier, what do you call it? Adult entertainment?
Adult entertainment, yeah. Strip club sometimes.
Strip clubs.
Yeah.
Or if you're old like me, you might even call it a titty bar.
Yep.
Titty bar makes it sound kind of like the dive ones.
Correct.
Yours isn't really the dive ones. Yours is like one of the upscale ones. So he is the CEO and founder of Peppermint Hippo and director at Tradewinds Universal. You scaled it from 1 mil to 32 mil in revenue across 10 gentlemen clubs now nationwide. Started your career answering a Craigslist ad in Vegas. Let's go back that far real quick.
Oh, so I moved to Vegas in, I think, 2004, 2005. And I was working as an executive recruiter for construction at the time in Vegas. And I was like, yeah, dude, this can't be my life, man. So I looked on a Craigslist ad and I was thinking, hey, I want to do a casino host, nightclub host, or adult strip club host. So that's what I wanted to do. And I figured, hey, I'm going to have some fun. If it doesn't work out, I'll move back to Pennsylvania and do whatever.
You clearly weren't married.
No, not at all.
Because if you were, she would have said no.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I'm like, I'll do that.
How old were you?
About 29.
So 29 years old, you open up a paper or Craigslist and it says, what was the ad? Do you remember what it said?
Yeah, I think it's like a security or host for adult club. Didn't tell you which club it was. So you just basically had a, reply and then they called me back.
Well, how did you get the job versus everybody because I would assume everybody was answering that ad.
Yeah. So I didn't know this at the time, but I know how hard it was to get a job in the adult business for guys, So I just went in there and just did an interview. I aced it obviously, and I got hired pretty much on the spot. And it's kind of like luck and timing. They were getting rid of someone at the same time that needed to fill the position. So they're like, hey, when can you start? I was like, I don't know, right away.
But why you? Were you well-spoken or are you some sort of freaking jujitsu expert? Because aren't the hosts also kind of bouncers?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, no, I was just basically well-spoken, and I came off professional and good talker. So I was just bullshit with the guy. So he liked me right away. He's like, all right, hey. And plus, like I said, it's like timing too. They need someone. And typically the most times you get goons that apply for these positions. So they probably just didn't want a goon at the time.
No experience.
None.
So when you got the job, how'd you feel about that?
Well, listen, it's like you're starting out, right? So it was like all these girls. So you're like fish out of water, and it was awesome. I loved it, of course.
So you show up the first night, and that was that.
Yeah,
stayed in it.
Stayed in it the whole time.
So what is the big draw? Was it the money? Was it the surroundings, the environment? What was it?
Number one is surrounding environment for sure, right? Because I always worked in an office before, and now I'm in nightlife in Las Vegas. So I was working for the largest, two of the largest clubs in the United States at the time, and it was just full on nightlife experience. And plus, you're working with hundreds and hundreds of beautiful women. So why wouldn't you want to do this?
Did you date any of them?
Of course.
So that's a given.
Yeah, that's a given for sure.
So if anybody's looking for a spouse, get a job as a bouncer at a strip club,
you'll have your opportunities for sure.
Are they? Do you think that most what do they call them? Entertainers,
yes,
dancers. I call them strippers, but do you think that most of them are damaged in any way, like mentally?
Well, they run the gamut. And you got to remember, these girls are young too. You know what I mean? They're starting at, here in Vegas, they're 21, and they're usually out by the time they're 30, 35, right? So you're dealing with like a young, crazy party girls. So, you have them cocktail waitresses also all around this the city. But yes, some were damaged, some were normal. Some have their head on straight.
Yeah, it's crazy. I when I was growing up, I knew this girl and everyone called her a slut because she was a stripper.
Yeah.
But I knew her. She wasn't a slut at all. She was actually very smart, very intelligent, and it was the only way to pay for school. So she wanted to go to school to be a veterinarian. And she had these big old assets.
Yep.
And so everyone just had the wrong idea about her. And she wasn't in there dicking around. She went in, got her money, left. Went in, got her money, left. And she ended up like within 3 or 4 years, put herself through veterinarian school and boom, quit just like she said she would and became a veterinarian. And now she's like a very successful veterinarian that works with racehorses.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, dude, that's when I realized like, oh, they're probably not all damaged.
No, I would say they're all damaged at all.
Because you would think like, why would you go in there and take your freaking clothes off for a bunch of drunk perverts?
Money.
Yeah, but like that's where the damage comes in.
Well, listen, they can make, the good ones will make $1,000 to a couple $1,000 a night. So for a lot of girls that don't have a degree, and even if you do have a degree, where are you going to make that? You're going to make, I mean, now back then, there's no OnlyFans or anything else like that, right? Which I don't recommend either. But like they can make, $5,000 or $10,000 a week cash. Where else are they going to make that?
How do they do their taxes?
Well, that's on them.
But how do they?
I'm guessing some don't report it at all, but some of the intelligent ones do because they know they have to buy things because you can't buy anything without your tax records.
You can't say you make $800 a month and drive a Lambo.
Yeah, that has happened though for sure. But yes,
yeah. So in my mind, I'm thinking if I was you, got a job at a nightclub, and now I'm in that atmosphere, like, what's the first move you need to make? Get to know them all? How do you make money?
So we make money by tips. So, like at the time we're making $9 an hour, right? So obviously we didn't make $9 an hour. So we're making a little bit over 100 some plus in income a year. So how we made money was shaking hands with guests. Like, Brad, if you were a guest of mine, I get to know you. And if you start making money, you're going to start tipping me. I'd hook you up with hot girls. Now you tip me for the hot girls. And then the girl tipped me for hooking them up with you because you just spent another $2,000 on her. So that's how we make our money,
The girls don't owe you or owe the hosts a piece?
No.
So it's all tip driven.
Tip driven, yeah.
So some girls were probably more generous than others?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And of course, you'd bring them to the richest guys.
Of course. Well, they have to be good looking too. I'm not going to bring like, a girl that's not attractive, be like, hey, this is my best girl, when she's not. How would
the ugly ones get a job there?
They wouldn't.
You ever see that I forget what club it is, but it's famous for saying, 27 beautiful girls and 3 ugly ones.
Oh, I think that's Little Darlings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great marketing. Yeah.
That's good marketing.
Yeah, that is
that's
great
funny.
marketing. Yeah.
So would you see like crime going on?
No, I mean, we had so many guys working in the club. I mean, for sure there'd be fights and stuff like that going on once in a while, but they got stopped right away.
So you didn't have to worry about danger.
No. Like, in Vegas, there's so much security and so many cameras everywhere. So, everyone's getting wanted. They're coming in through the door. So no one's bringing any firearms in or anything crazy like that. Stuff happens outside, but we can't control that. But, inside the club, everyone's safe.
And alcohol's flowing. Do you guys have rules like normal TAM, like rules where you overserve people? Because I've been to clubs where I've been overserved.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, there is rules. Like different clubs especially my smaller clubs, we have all the TAM rules and everyone has to get trained on that for sure.
So how is it that you build it from $1 million in revenue to, I mean, how do you build a strip club? You would think it is what it is. Is it advertising? Is it marketing? Is it better looking talent? What is it?
It's all of it. So it's operations too, right? So, in 2018 is when I bought my first club. That was in Toledo, Ohio. And we did $1 million in revenue that year. In 2000, by the end of this year, we'll do 32 million in revenue. But that's not from that club. It's through acquisitions. I was buying more clubs as time was going on. I was buying, anywhere from 1 to 3 a year.
Did you have to save up a ton of money to get that first club?
Oh yeah, it was basically me and 3 other friends. We each had 100K and we all put it together. And then, that's it. I had to go get a finance. I financed it. I did an owner financing. I bought it for $500,000. Mind you, this is Toledo, Ohio. I put $300,000 down. I only had 400, so I put $300,000 down. That's all I had, and I had to keep the other 100 for operations. And then she held a $200,000 note, which I paid off in 2 years.
So do you think the strategy was, how did you know? Did you just bring Vegas shit you learned in Vegas to Toledo?
Yeah, I just brought every other market is smaller, so they don't know what Vegas has. So I just brought a little piece of Vegas to every market I went into. So my third club was Little Rock, Arkansas. And no one believed we could sell champagne there. We're like, what? These hillbillies aren't going to buy champagne. That's what the old owner told me. I was like, they'll buy. We just got to make this place look nicer. So we did a full gut remodel, and then once we did that, then it started, man. I think we're the number one selling Dom and Ace in the whole state of Arkansas. That's not a huge thing, but it is,
Well, I mean, if you don't ask, you don't get.
Correct.
So for entrepreneurs listening, like, what do you think your biggest struggle was? Because I mean, it sounds like, strip club, dude, you can't lose.
Well, you can, what I mean? You have licensing and finances is impossible.
Now, when you buy a strip club, does the liquor license come with it, or you have to apply for that?
No, you got to apply for it.
So obviously you applied and approved for that.
Mm-hmm.
What if someone has a background? They can't.
They can't get it.
So it's just, you're screwed.
Yeah. So if you have each city is different. Vegas is really tough. So if you have felonies on your record, DUI sometimes will stop you from it also. So I don't have anything. I have a clean record, but
I'm screwed.
Yeah. So, I don't think you're trying to open up strip clubs.
No, but I wouldn't. I mean, it would just be a imagined dream.
Yeah.
But dude, listen, that would be a killer business to own.
Yeah.
Especially for a single guy.
Oh yeah. That's great.
Do you think if for a married guy, it would cause a divorce?
Well, I think a lot of the people that own the adult clubs are married.
Aren't?
They are. Yeah. I mean, they're married, but I'm not saying they haven't been caused a divorce and they're married on their second or third wives at this point. But it depends where they're at in their career. Like if they're in the club still, like working it nightly, it's not a good thing.
You'd say, "Come on, babe, I got to go down there. You know how it is."
Yeah. Now, if
I ain't there, it's not going to run right.
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of times, if they're at a higher level and they don't have to go into clubs anymore, then it's going to be fine. Yeah.
So for many of the young listeners that are going to come to Vegas, when they go to the Peppermint Hippo, what can they expect?
Beautiful women, great service, and great drinks too.
Clean, friendly.
Yeah.
Is there any dancers they call one-handed Judy?
There's no one-handed Julie. No. That's great.
Yeah, that's what I say when people say, "Where do I go?" I go down there and ask for one-handed Judy. Someone one time goes, "There's a stripper with one hand?" I go, "That's all you need."
No,
because dude, some of those VIP rooms in those strip clubs, dude, I've seen some shit. I've done some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like as a youngster, when I used to frequent them,
mm-hmm.
You go back in that VIP room. This was back in the day. I don't think there were cameras, and if there were, well, then there's some footage of me. But like we'd go back there, and there'd be a bouncer outside, but they wouldn't be peeking in. And as long as you freaking started throwing some freaking cash out there, some of them would do pretty much anything.
So was this in Vegas too?
Yeah.
Okay. So back when I first started, there were cameras, and now it's gotten tightened up because we get, Vice comes in. So Vice will come in, they'll go right to the camera room, see what's going on, and you'll get hit with violations and you could get shut down. So
well, sure, you could, I'm sure then too, but it didn't matter.
Back then it was a little bit different though. It was Wild West.
Yeah.
This
was way back when, in the 90s.
This is back in the Cheetahs and Crazy Horse 2 days and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's right. When the one of them burnt down, which one burnt down?
Crazy Horse 2.
Yeah, and then that bridge there was one right by the bridge. What one was that one?
That was Crazy Horse 2.
Crazy Horse 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is it reminds me of a story. I got a buddy, and he claims to know James Caan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're driving around, and he's talking about James Caan. He called him Jimmy, this, that, and the other thing. And I was driving by Crazy Horse 2, and I said, "Well, if James is in town, then he's in that place right there." And he said, "Pull in there." I said, "Shut up." He goes, "No, pull in there." So we pull in there, we walk in there, and sure enough, I look over, James Caan's in there.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, "There's James right there," fully expecting this dude not to know him.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over and walks right over to him, and they're the best of friends. We ended up freaking up in James Caan's room at the Caesar's Palace in a suite. And I'm sitting there. They all go to the back. I don't know what they were doing, but it wasn't, I'll bet you, shit you should be doing. And I'm sitting on the couch. I get a knock at the door. Boom. I open the door. Chris Rock says, "Hey, James here?" I'm like, "Yeah, they're back there." Boom. He walks in the back. Boom, boom, boom. Knock on the door. I open the fucking door. It's Dave Faustino from Married with Children. Bud Bundy.
Bud Bundy.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, what the hell's going on back there? What are they doing? But they all kept walking in the back, and I was just assuming that I shouldn't probably go back there.
Yeah.
So I never figured out what they were doing back there. But he had all kinds of celebrities coming up to his suite.
No, of course.
So do all the celebrities frequent the strip clubs?
Yeah, especially back in the day when before the cell phones got really good with the camera technology, and we weren't, because back, remember it was like a flip phone, the Razor.
Yeah, there weren't even cameras on.
Yeah, there's no cameras, no nothing. So so the celebrities would be in there all the time, getting whacked out and having a blast. Right now it's a little bit different with TMZ. Everyone's like getting their phone out and everything. But yeah,
do you have any cell phone rules? Because you probably can't have your cell phone out filming everything, can you?
Yeah, so we do. So they can't film the girls on stage or anything else like that. But now the girls don't even care anymore. So they're filming themselves dancing. You know what I mean? So they'll grab the guy's phone and film themselves. It's crazy now.
Well, as a promoter, I would let it happen.
Oh yeah, they do. They actually. So back in the day, no girl would want to be like, "Hey, I'm a dancer at wherever." You know what I mean, in Vegas. But now they don't care. Majority of them don't care anymore.
So what's the craziest thing you ever saw? Because I'm sure you've seen serious shit.
Yeah, I saw a lot of crazy. I mean, some stuff I can't say, but back in the day, we there was a guy that won't pay their tab, and Frank Mir worked at Rhino too back in the day, right? So and a lot of times we'd be like, "Hey, the guy won't pay his tab." You're like, "I'm not signing for it." You're like, "I don't agree with it. I'm not signing for it." After the dance is done, after everything's done, he's like, "I'm not going to do it." And some of the stuff we say, we're like, "Hey, listen, man, we're gonna handcuff you to the trash can outside, the dumpster." I go, "Then we're gonna call the police, the Metro." It's a non-emergency call. It's gonna take them 5 hours to get here because they don't care. Of course, the guy's like, "Oh, fuck you. I don't give a fuck." So we grip him up, handcuff him to the dumpster. Like back, the VIP area is back there too, right? So he'd be handcuffed to the dumpster. A couple hours go by. "Hey, man, you want to sign your tab?" "Fuck you." "All right, cool." Just let it go. About an hour or so, hour and a half or so, they're like, "All right, just give me the tab."
Did the cops ever show up?
Well, we call it in because it's theft of service. So we'd call it in. But no, the cops never show up because they always sign before the cops get there.
Any of them ever taken ass whooping? Allegedly?
Allegedly, yes. Someone could get ass whooping. So allegedly, Charlie Sheen was thrown in the dumpster at Cheetahs, allegedly. For being Charlie Sheen back in the day.
Yeah, well, shit, nowadays, I don't even know what that means. Dude, holy moly. So how do you build the strip club? Like if I went and bought one today, what would I do to build it?
It's all operations, man. So it's operations, social media, marketing, treating the girls right, treating the customers right, and making it look nice too, because people like to go into nice places. Like no one wants to go to a hole in a wall, So, and then and how I built it was I was able to scale real fast because I took over pretty much dumps or clubs that were non-existent and turned it around at a fast rate speed.
Why do you think the previous owner didn't do that?
Which club? All of them?
Any of them?
They just don't know. Knowledge, or they're over it. They're older and they're not into it anymore.
How many strip clubs do you think are for sale right now in the United States?
Well, I think there's over 3,400 strip clubs in the United States right now.
That's it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, dude, you're from a small group then.
Yeah.
That's not very many out of freaking the whole United States.
No, it's not many.
Are there rankings?
Yeah, I mean by volume, right? And if you're in a major city like Vegas, Miami, New York,
what's like the number one strip club in the United States?
Probably Club 11
in Miami.
Yeah, those guys.
Well, that's not really a strip club. That's a strip club / nightclub.
That's a nightclub with strippers. That's what that is.
Yeah. Whose idea was that, you think?
It's either Gino Lupinto or
Yeah.
Dennis DeGori, probably Dennis and Gino, because they worked together for a while.
So have you ever been tempted to try that yourself?
Yeah, so that's what we're doing here in Vegas. So, in Peppermint Hippo, what we're doing is we're doing more of a nightlife venue with strippers. So like our music is more high energy. It's not dull. We spend millions of dollars on lighting and sound. So it's crisp. It's just more of a fun party atmosphere versus like a dark, dingy place.
Yeah. Like Larry's Villa.
Yeah, like Larry's Villa. Have you ever gone in there?
Yes.
I've never gone in there. How is it?
Terrible.
That's great.
You know, the Little Darlings?
Yeah.
That night they had 27 ugly ones. Like it was terrible.
I think they always do.
Yeah, it was not a good, didn't look safe. It wasn't good. They looked like they were in a union and couldn't be fired or something.
Yeah.
It was not good. Sorry, Larry. But it's been a while. I wish I frequented the Peppermint Hippo so I could say, oh yeah, dude, I love that place. But I haven't been to a strip club in forever.
Yeah. And listen, you age out of it, right? And you're married now, right?
Married.
Of course. So that happens
Married
too.
with kids.
Yeah. If you were still single, it'd be different.
Now my job is to keep my daughters from ending up there.
Yeah. You don't want your daughter on the pole.
Do you ever like feel bad for some of these girls, or it's like, hey, that's part of the business. I'm going to need somebody.
So, well, I mean, if you think the girls are getting taken advantage, you're definitely wrong. They're sharks. Majority of them are sharks. So we have to protect the customers from the girls.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude. These girls will take if some of these girls are sharks. So like a lot of them are, and their whole job is to dance for a customer and then put them in a fancy land, right? Which is fine because most guys know it is for fun. But if you let the reins go, they'll crush the guys.
How so?
Money. They'll just take all their money.
But I mean, like not credit cards and everything. Like if you go into the strip club
if you
with
don't think
$5,000, you're leaving with none, more than likely.
Yeah, but a lot of times they'll be in contact with them, get the guys to fall in love. The guys will just literally go bankrupt, trying to give the girl money. And meanwhile, the girl will have a boyfriend on the side or whatever. Yeah, they'll be like messed up.
What would you warn people for most strip clubs?
I mean, usually, listen, the guy should know not to do that, right? So sometimes you can't help it, but just hey, don't fall in love with a stripper.
What's the peppermint? The other day I said that I would never date a stripper. Now, again, I'm not an angel. I used to, and I would before. Of course. And I've damn near fell in love with a couple of them because when they're gorgeous, they're gorgeous. Yeah. I don't care that they strip, but my problem is I get too jealous, knowing full well your girl is going to go down and work.
Yeah.
My God, I don't know how people do it because they all have boyfriends.
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah, but how do you reconcile that? Like, as soon as I fell in love with a stripper, I would be telling her, "You're done stripping." Yeah, and they'd say, "Fuck you."
Yeah, the problem is unless you're making enough money to get them to quit, they're not going to quit.
No.
Yeah,
it's such easy money.
Yeah,
they go in there smelling good, looking good, come out. How long is an average shift?
Anywhere from 4 to 8 hours, typically.
Yeah, and they're walking out with wads of cash.
Yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah.
And they don't have to do anything.
No.
Not that they don't. All of them, I'm sure, don't.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know which ones are the good-hearted, like, hey, I'm just here to show my tits. Right?
Yeah.
Well, because I mean, you're going to show your tits no matter what.
Of course. Well, I mean, listen, so, when I was a host, you would know which girls are good and which ones are bad, right? And then a lot of times the bad one, because, we have to protect our liquor license. So you can't let them do stupid stuff over and over again. So they would get suspended and girls would get terminated.
Would they work for the hosts, or the hosts in charge in there?
The hosts aren't, they're just there to protect the club and the customers too, and the girls, so they're there to be a protection. So if the girl is doing crazy stuff or trying to, drug a customer or anything else, or vice versa, because there's been customers that could drug girls too. We got to protect the club and protect the girl or the customers all at the same time. So if the girl is doing some shady, like stealing money or doing stuff like that, she gets terminated. We just terminate her contract.
And you're about to take a club public?
Yeah. So my very first club in Toledo, Ohio, actually, that's the first one we're going to take public through Tradewinds Universal.
So pretty soon people can invest
yes,
in your strip clubs.
yeah. And then the other 9 that I have right now, we're rolling that up to potentially go into private equity, and sooner or later they're both merge into one.
What is the profit margins from a strip club?
It depends which club, obviously, but if you're doing you're looking at anything from 20 to 40, 45%, sometimes even higher, depending on if it's one club that's just murdering it. But usually you're right around there.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. How do you murder it? Like, why does one club get all the people? Is it the cab drivers? Is it the promotion?
So you're talking about just Vegas, right?
Yeah, or anywhere, even in Toledo. Like, why am I going to yours as opposed to every other one?
It's like anything else, right? Why go to the restaurant? Why go to this restaurant versus another restaurant? Because you either like the atmosphere better. For adult clubs, it's like, hey, you like the atmosphere better. The girls are prettier. You might have a favorite host that you like that bullshits with you, does a shot with you, hangs out with you. So it's like a buddy. So you're like, ah, shit. All right, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go see Brad over there, at the Hippo. So
are the hosts marketing and kind of salesmen too? Like, do they call their connects to say, get down here? We're
especially
slow.
in Vegas, yeah. Or in Vegas, we're like, hey man, are you in town? Come on in, Or usually it's the other way around because Vegas is transient, right? So everyone's coming here for convention. So when I was a host, I had hundreds and hundreds of contacts, and they'd be like, hey Allan, I'm in town. All right, cool. When do you want to come in? If Friday, send them a car. Cool. I set everything up for them.
And when they come in, did you like give them a little table? Because what happens when it's packed and there's no room?
Yeah, because usually the guys that have my number are good quality customers.
But
so
how do you kick out someone for someone else?
Well, so what we did was when we reserved the tables, a lot of tables were reserved, and some were bottle service tables too, right? So what we would do is we'd fill the table, the general seating tables, and we would tell them, hey, listen, this is reserved for bottle service, but you're more than welcome to sit here. But once our bottle service comes in, we might have to ask you to move, stuff like that. So as long as you tell them ahead of time, they're usually cool, right? Because they're looking for tables forever, and they're just happy to sit down. And a lot of times it's like, hey, our customers here, if they don't want to get up, they're like, hey, can we just buy a bottle? Of course. Then we just go to the next guy. All right, hey, our customers here, and get them
But
up.
have you ever been to a point where everything's full?
Oh, yeah.
And what do you do?
People are waiting.
You just wait outside?
You could wait inside, but I mean, we had people wait hours to get bottle service before.
They just want a table.
Yeah.
Do you see a general age, or is it all ages, all kinds, male and female?
It's mostly male. I would say 80 some percent male right now. It's changing throughout the years, right? Before I would say it's probably 95% male, 98% male. But now it's changing. So more females are coming in and partying.
Do you have any transvestites?
No.
Transgenders?
I do not have any transgender.
Would one ever be able to work there?
So they do call in, and they do, and I don't know if they're trying to do a lawsuit or whatever, right?
Why? Because they can sue you if you don't give them an audition?
Yes. So I guess, I don't know. So we let them audition. We're like, hey, come on in. They got to do the same audition as everybody else. So legally, right? So they got to get in the 2-piece. Hopefully the junk's not hanging out, but they have to get in the 2-piece and they have to go up on stage. So we're going to make them do the same thing and then come down and
how many people do you think apply every single month at a strip club?
Thousands, if you're talking about all of them, but if you're just talking about mine, still hundreds.
So like it is no problem getting strippers
No.
to strip.
No.
Do you think that's a problem with our society now?
Well, I think it's always been there.
And always will be.
And it always will be.
It's what they call the oldest profession, not strippers, but prostitution.
Yes.
Oldest profession in the world.
Yeah, it's always going to be there. I mean, guys always want to see girls. And, and a lot of times the adult clubs is guys aren't there just to be like, just gawking at the girls. They're there to hang out. You know what I mean? So if it's like you and four boys hanging out, you want, hey, let's go to the strip club and have fun. Half the times you don't pay attention to the girls, but they're around, at least they're around you, right? It's not like a nightclub where the girl, you're trying to grab a girl to come talk to you. Well, at strip club, at least they come and talk to you willingly. You know what I mean? They're trying to get your money, which is fine. You're gonna pay. They're gonna pay. You're gonna pay for their time. You know. So versus like a nightclub, great. What are you gonna do? Walk around in circles and try to pick up girls like randomly? That's what happens.
Are you behind Peppermint Hippo LV social media?
Yes.
Like, is that your personal one?
That's
I
not
mean,
my,
it's business.
that's my
but-
business. Yeah. I'm on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to get you a personal one.
Okay.
Yeah. Get you your own personal brand. Because, dude, there's going to be a lot of people that would be interested in this career. Again, I mean, I'm no angel, folks. I'm no angel. All I know is I'm to the age now where like I wouldn't advise you to go be a stripper. Why? Well, because I'm at that age, and I think no dad would want their dad or their daughters being strippers. However, I know that's not going to stop. Just like that's the reason I'm not vegan. Right? Like, you know, listen, when they stop killing the cows, I'll stop eating them. I'm not going to go kill them myself.
Correct.
But as long as there's bacon and steak at the grocery store, I'm eating it. But when it comes to strip clubs, to me, it's like, I'm sure you must get some hate from these holy rollers or, you know, holier than thous that think you're a detriment to society.
Yeah, we do. I mean, it's just part of the nature of the business. Like no side loves us, right? You get the left doesn't like us and the right doesn't like us. So we're pretty much screwed the whole way, even though they both probably come into their club and have fun, right?
They do.
Yeah, they do. You know, I know them, so they do. And, you know, as far as like the girls, you know, it's gotten a lot of girls out of poverty too. And it's gotten a lot of girls, you know, one of my girls from back in the day, she's like, dude, I can't thank the clubs enough because I was living out of my car with my son. And she's like, I would park and obviously this is because she was in dire straits. She's like, my son was in the car parked while I was working inside. You know, but it got her out of, she's like, within 2 weeks, I was able to afford an apartment and I got out of it right away. So, but that was what it was allowed her to do, to get out of poverty quick, you know, or in dire situations of like a bad marriage or bad boyfriend, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
well, again, I mean, if I were a hot female, I guarantee you I would have been a stripper.
yeah.
I may even have been a prostitute. A selective one,
Yeah.
but one nonetheless. Why? Well, again, because when I was growing up, I didn't have the ethics and morals, and you know, I was out there partying, and I'm sure that's a phase they go through.
Yeah, of course.
And I don't look down on them. I was trying to tell the one I was talking to the other day, like I would never date one, but only because I'm jealous, not because I think they're gross.
Yeah.
You know, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, some of them, but a lot of them, most of them, they're freaking gorgeous. Like they got the bodies, they smell good. They, you know, they're professional, good looking, gorgeous. And dude, you can't help but to freaking fall in love with them when you're down there every day. And I would talk to some that I knew as friends, and they would just like almost, they have their regulars, and I would feel bad for the regulars because they didn't like them. Guys, when you go to a strip club, you'll feel like they love you, but they don't actually love you.
Well, you know, sometimes they do. You know,
Sometimes they do.
Sometimes they do. And I had a lot of my my, you know, girls or the girls I worked with in the past, they married millionaires, you know what I mean? One married a billionaire. So it's
Because they'll come in there too.
Yeah. They I mean, the connections you can meet, especially in Vegas, right? The connections you can meet in Vegas working in this industry is insane. Like you'll never be able to meet these guys ever outside.
Well, look at what's her name? Anna Nicole Smith.
Yeah. That happens a lot. A lot more than people think.
Yeah, maybe I'll change my mind. I still wouldn't want my daughters in there.
No, I listen, I wouldn't either, right? I don't have kids, but I wouldn't either.
Are you planning on having kids?
Yeah, trying.
So do you think if you marry a woman that says you're not having those, would you sell them? Or is this a lifetime thing?
No way. I mean, she better be very wealthy for me to be like, oh, okay, I'm gonna give up my career and sell everything out. No way. There's 0% chance.
So does it make you just a shit ton of money?
It does make a lot of money, yeah.
And are you at the level where you don't even have to go there unless you want to?
Yeah, I go in during the day. So my working is all daytime now. So it's all basically like either acquisitions or mergers and stuff like that right now. So I don't do the day-to-day operations anymore.
If there's people listening that want to apply as a host or as a dancer, what's the procedure?
Just go to our website. Yeah, the Peppermint Hippo. You know, I think
the
it's
Peppermint Hippo.
Yeah,
guys, there's 25-year-olds right now going, dude, I don't know what Brad's talking about. That sounds good to me. But as a guy, I would definitely go down there. Shit, if I wasn't married, I'd be down there right now saying, do you hire 56-year-olds? I'd be down there.
Oh, dude, listen, in my late 20s, early 30s, it was the best time in my life. Now, it's not easy to get a job, though, of course, right? Because like a lot of guys want to work at a strip club, but it was the best time of my life.
I bet.
By far. Part of my job was to, not only did I work in the club, but part of my job was, promotion. So I would have to take girls out to, back in the day, when Excess just first was Tris back in the day, and in Excess, I'd take anywhere from 10 to the largest amount I had was 76 girls with me, all to go out and promote and have fun, which is basically just going out there and getting drunk and just going crazy. We're all young at the time, and it was the best time of my life for sure.
And then saying, follow us back.
Yeah.
Would you bring people back?
Oh yeah. All the time.
What about cab drivers? I heard they get paid to drop them off there.
Oh yeah. So there's a cab war that's getting quashed right now a little bit, but it went all the way up to $200 a head per guy.
Damn. So what's the average on those? Because to pay 200, you have to think, well, they're going to drop 1,000.
Yeah, but a lot of times you don't. So like, a lot of the clubs were losing money at the time when the cab war, and it just kind of ended.
How so?
Because it went up so high that it became unsustainable.
Because the cabs would just say, screw you, I'll bring them to the next one.
Yeah. So that's how it happened. Like everyone's kept going up and up and up until it finally hit a point where it was like at $200 a head. Other clubs couldn't keep going up. And then they start talking like, hey, so they all kind of just like, let's bring it all down,
Do you guys all know each other?
Yeah.
Is it a small group?
Yeah. There's only like 8 of us.
And do y'all get together and say, hey, let's tell these cabs, forget it?
A little bit, yeah. We just make it just business sense, right? We're just like, hey, man, this doesn't make any sense. So we got kind of all have to a little bit agree on it.
But I mean, at the end of the day, now with social media, all you do is type in nearest strip club, and it pops up.
Yeah,
like I don't need a cab driver to tell me about it. Now in the old days, you did.
You did, yeah. So now it's different. It's like, so we never went up crazy. So we only went to 150 at the max, and then once it kept going up, I was like, hey, this doesn't even make financial sense. So we built everything off of our Google reviews and our social media. So, we're at like 4.7 stars over 12 or 1,300 reviews. So we have the highest review in the city. So Peppermint Hippo does. And then the other one was just Las Toxicas, which is my other brand. That has the next one. I think that's actually 4.9 stars. So both of my clubs have the highest ratings.
Yeah. So why is that?
Because we provide better service. We're friendlier, and we provide like the girls.
I know, but if I had the other clubs in here, they'd say, no, we do. So like, what is the?
Well, you just go by the reviews, right? So that's what, like, if you go to any city and you're not sure where to go and you're like, ah, man, I want Italian food. That was good. So you go by the reviews, and that's what we did. We built it off social media, and because a lot of times other ownership levels they're old school.
Do you guys ever close?
No. Well, yeah, Thanksgiving night and Christmas Eve to Christmas Day, but then we're open.
Why do you close those two?
Well, they're not full days. We just close the time, the shifts.
Yeah,
because guys don't want to come out. You don't have a family here, and your Thanksgiving, and just want to hang out at the strip club.
What do you think the hardest challenge that you've experienced has been thus far?
For me, it's probably financing. So like banking. So you can't get financing on anything, on any of these clubs.
Why?
Because the banks won't give you money. They consider it a sin industry. And even though
sin?
Yeah, it's called sin. It's basically us, marijuana, I think gaming too, gambling. But I think they softened up on gambling, obviously. But that used to be like sin industry. So they won't, I think firearms is part of it too, maybe. I'm not sure anymore, but they won't finance it. So even property, it's so hard to get financing on property. You're going through like, hard money, or you're going through like these 5-year arms, so you're taking a $10 million financing on a 5-year arm, so it's tough. So even if our EBITDA is at say by next year, our EBITDA should be somewhere between 18 to 20 million, right? I probably still can't get financing for like a $5 million building.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's why you're going public.
Yep.
Because once you're public, you can have all the money in the world.
Yes.
And you can scale and expand, and freaking the investors are happy.
Yeah.
Because like it's kind of hard to lose money in a strip club.
It is. I mean,
I've seen the shitty ones be open for years, which means they're making money.
Yeah.
And I've seen the shitty ones that you go into and there's not even that many people in there, and never is, but they're making money.
Yeah.
You think any of them are fronts for laundering money?
I mean, I don't listen, who knows, but now everything's corporate. You know what I mean? So back in the day, you know, I think that like Crazy Horse 2 was, you know, mob guys for sure.
There was someone that got like in trouble, didn't they?
Crazy Horse 2, yeah.
Was his name Mike?
Oh yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got a lot of people got in trouble.
He was like a local politician / something.
Well, I think back in the day, Crazy Horse 2 had like politicians under their
Maybe that's why James Caan was there.
Yeah, politicians under. Well, he was probably there for fun because that was back in that was the number one club for sure. But I think back in the day, they had some politicians going in there and had blackmail and stuff like that. I don't know. So, but that's what I heard.
So if someone's coming out here, you know, and they get in a cab and say, "Take me to a strip club," what's the cab going to say? Not Peppermint Hippo.
They'll say whoever is paying them the most.
Doesn't make it the best.
Definitely doesn't make it the best.
So folks, if you're coming out here and you are wanting to go visit this club, just get in and say Peppermint Hippo. Do you think these cab drivers, because of that fee, will talk people out of it?
Oh, for sure. I know they do. So what they'll say is like, "Hey, don't go there. It just got raided last night. All the girls left. They all went to this club," right? And it's just the club's paying the most. Or they'll be like, "Oh, it just burned down." They'll literally say that. You're like, what? So you just believe them, you know? Oh, they're closed right now. So
I would believe them.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh shit, where's another one?
Exactly, and then you're gonna take their.
How do they get money? Because I've been dropped off before, and I didn't know they were getting paid.
So once you go in and you pay, so someone's always tracking you. So like, all right, white male, black shirt coming out of this cab. All right, did he pay yet? Yeah, he paid. All right, cool. So then the cab driver, what he does is he pulls away, he parks in the parking lot. And then he walks up once you go in and then collects his money.
Well, that's better than Uber.
Yeah.
You got Uber drivers doing the same thing?
We do. Yeah. Uber was getting paid up to 200 by one of the clubs.
So, well, dude, that's a smart move for the club owner, no?
To pay that much? No.
Well, because, I mean, dude, like everybody's Ubering nowadays. So everybody's cabs are going by the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
and
but
once,
Ubers.
Yeah. Once Elon gets in here with the self-drive, it's all going to be bye-byes. Except for limos.
Well, don't you think he's going to figure out, hey.
I don't think he cares that much for that.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, that's small potatoes. So
what is your plan with Tradewinds? Just to build a massive empire of strip clubs?
Yeah, my goal when I very first started was 100 clubs, and I didn't want to set it on a monetary value because if all I did was want to live just a good, easy life, I could do that now. So I would stop. So I always want to put it at a high goal to own 100 clubs. And I think if I go public or through private equity route, that could happen. Just the ability to scale and the
private equity for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, public.
Yeah.
Because when you're dealing with public money, you can raise as much as you want.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
It's going to be on the OTC.
So yeah, it starts on an OTC because that one only does, $1 million, $2 million in revenue right now. But the main goal is as I'm rolling up the rest of my clubs, it's either going to be buying out those clubs or buying out other clubs to increase the value to eventually go on NASDAQ or New York Stock Exchange.
What's your plan to exit it?
I don't have one right now.
So you just want to be in this business forever?
Well, listen, I'm not going to be in it forever, but I'll be in it for a long time. Yeah, I think I'd be too bored if I was retired.
Do all your friends and family like envy you?
Yeah, well, all my guy friends in the beginning when I was in my 30s and 40s are like, of course, they were like, dude, what are you doing? My family, my mom thought, she was like, what are you doing with your life, man? You're working security guard at a strip club. Now it's a little bit different, but yeah, that's how it was for a while.
So what if there's people listening that have a strip club and they do want to sell?
They contact me. Yeah.
You're interested in buying clubs.
Yeah. So in the small markets, I'm not too interested anymore.
What's the minimum like requirements? Like if you just said, hey, listen, if you're doing X amount, you're in a, like, give a description.
Probably about $1 million or so in EBITDA, $1 million plus in EBITDA. You know what I mean? So you probably have to be doing about $5 million in revenue.
And it doesn't matter what city?
No, as long as it's a city. You know, if it's in Podunk middle. Well, listen, if it's Podunk middle of nowhere, but it's doing that, yeah, I'll look at it. No problem.
Man, I'm just like thinking in my mind, like, dude, I almost want to buy some of that stock because it's just a formula.
Yeah. Once I'm fully in there, it should shoot up a lot. And then it's going to have time to grow too. Because I have, number one, it's starting with a small club in Ohio, right? But I have, 30 some million dollars of revenue already in the pipeline to buy. So not only that, I have other ownerships that's looking to exit out or just merge because they're in their late 60s, 70s, and 80s. How long do they want to run these clubs? You know what I mean? I talk to them all the time. I'm like, hey man, when I'm 80 years old, I don't want to be sitting there operating these clubs. You? And all of them are like, no. If you own stocks and shares, that's at the end goal. That's what the game is.
Do you think you get jaded owning them with the ladies?
I just know the game.
Like, are you desensitized to the females now?
No, I mean, listen, I have a girlfriend. I have a girlfriend right now. So
what's her opinion?
She's fine with it. Like I said, I'm not in the club anymore. So there's no, I'm in bed at 9:00 now. You know what I mean? So for me, just like, yeah, whatever. But, back 10 years ago when I was going out all the time, coming home at 6 a.m., that's a different story.
Why would you ever go home?
Back then, I got to sleep sometime.
I'd have put a spot in there.
But you know what? It was, you can only do it for so long, right? You can only party and be doing that nightlife for so many years. And I did it for so many years that it does wear and tear on you, and I was like, other people are doing it for recreational. They'll come in, even they do a 3-day like bender, go crazy, then they're done. Well, I was living in it. So I was there all the time for over a decade.
Is that how you saved the initial $100,000?
Well, I made good money, but initially I just borrowed it from one of my girls.
One of the strippers?
Yeah, man. I had two entertainers. They ended up giving me close to $1 million each to invest into the company. Pretty much both they don't work anymore. No, they just collect dividends. Yeah.
And they did that from that.
Yeah.
That's smart of them.
Yeah.
And they were the ones making all the dough anyway.
Yeah. So they're making
those are the type that I don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, once you get into it, like the veterinarian
mm-hmm.
or someone like that, then it makes sense to me. But a lot of people don't realize that there's actual entertainers that are in there with a plan and an agenda, and it's an unbelievable accelerated way to collect that revenue to get to that goal, and then they achieve it, and then they're out.
Yeah.
Like, then I wouldn't judge them one bit. I wouldn't fault them, I should say, because I don't judge them anyway. Mm-hmm. I just remember the days I was in there.
Mm-hmm.
If I had a girl that would go down and do what they were doing to me, you either got to have a freaking 12-inch package and not care, because good luck.
Yeah.
Or like you're extremely secure or confident. And I wasn't extremely secure and confident younger. I acted that way, but I wasn't really that way. And if my girl, even thought a guy was cute on TV, I'd be like, what the fuck are you talking about? Insecure like that. And I'm still kind of a little bit like that. I couldn't have dated a stripper.
Well, listen, I've dated a bunch of strippers, obviously, you know what I mean, back in the day. But
you didn't fall in love with one.
I probably did, you know what I mean, one of the time.
And you didn't care when she was over there grinding?
Well, I was in there. I was in the host.
So what? You're watching her.
Listen, I wouldn't watch her though. I'd be like, all right. And a lot of times I hooked them up with the customers too.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, listen, it is what it is. When that was my business though. So
I know. I was just on the phone earlier with Dan Pena. You know Dan Pena?
Yeah, I just listen to him all the time.
And I said to him, I was, hey, well, if you were me, like, what do you think stopping me from hitting $1 billion? And he basically said, in a way worse way, that I'm too nice, too nice. You're not cutthroat enough.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what I mean. Like, dude, I couldn't be dating a girl and introduce her to the dude that's about to frickin' get his lap rubbed.
Oh, and I lost some girlfriends from that too. They ended up dating the guy. Or yeah.
And you didn't care?
No.
That's because you had 100 right behind them.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. They're all right. This is done. Cool.
Did they? Well, now they must all want to date you because you own it.
Yeah, but I'm not in the clubs anymore. You know what I mean? So like,
do they know who you are at all?
Yeah, they know.
So if you show up, they're like, oh, there's Allan.
I guess so. They're more scared than they are. Because I'm the owner now, right? Even though I'm real nice and I'm friendly with everybody, but yeah, they're more just like, oh shit, I better not screw up.
Did you come from a rich family?
No, I was adopted.
So you had nothing for to speak of. Like you didn't have anything.
No. So my I know my real mom. I take care of her now. I bought her a house and she's retired. And then my adopted, I have like a weird like a guardianship thing that happened. So when I was young, and they're fine, So but they had money, blue collar millionaires, for sure. But they were blue collar millionaires. Mean you worked. So like, hey man, at 8, 9, 10 years old, we're working for dad, working for, you know what I mean? But did I grow up with money? No.
So what made you decide, hey, screw working for these people, I'm going to go buy one? At some point you said, I'm going to go buy one.
Yeah. I always had the entrepreneurial spirit. I started a construction company when I was younger. It made good money in the beginning, but I was just too young and I didn't know what I was doing. And then I opened up like a little pizzeria too. And obviously all, things fail, things
but
happen.
there's profit in pizza too.
There's a lot of profit in pizza, but that was not my forte. I was like basically like investing into it. It didn't work out, lost money there. So I had a bunch of failures. And then finally I was like, dude, I'm pretty good at the strip club game. I'm just going to go after it, And then when I finally did it and turned Toledo into success, that's when I was like, oh, okay, hey, I could do this, But that first club, don't get me wrong, I wanted to hang myself. I was in Toledo, Ohio. It looked like I had a meth head. When I first started, I had one meth head bartender. One girl looked like she was like 6 months pregnant on stage. And you asked me before why I didn't get rid of them, because then I have no girls, So that's what I started with. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell did I just do?
Dirty floors.
No, it was in good shape. The club was in good shape, just bad, basically everything else. And I had to turn that around. But once I was able to turn that around, I really knew I was able to do it.
Have you ever been in a strip club when the lights turned on?
Yeah, of course.
They look different.
Yeah, of course.
How important do you think lighting is?
I think it's very important.
Yeah, lighting and sound.
Lighting and sound.
Like, dude, if you go into a strip club and you got bad lights and bad sound, to me is like, first fix that.
Yeah, we spend well over almost $2 million in lighting and sound in the Vegas club. So when you go in there, we have I know you don't go to strip clubs anymore, but like right in the very beginning, we have a 16-foot steel Hippo that I had a Russian artist fly in and do. So there's a huge Hippo right in the very front when you come into the lobby.
Why the Peppermint Hippo?
Oh, that's from South Park. Yeah, dude, honestly, I just thought it was fucking hilarious, man. And my first club was called Lust in Toledo, Ohio. I didn't have money to change it around or anything.
That's a good name.
Yeah, it's out there, right? And then my second club, I was like, all right, because I trademarked the Peppermint Hippo name, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna open this up as Peppermint Hippo. And I had a couple of my managers there and a couple of my investors were there. They're like, dude, really? We're gonna name it the Peppermint Hippo? And the one guy he's my senior director of operations now. He's like, that's a horrible name. They're gonna think every girl's fat in here. I'm like, dude, listen, it's just funny. Like it's from South Park. I go, everyone looks at it's gonna be just thinking that it's fucking funny, dude. Stupid, right? And he hated the name. We coin flipped it. So obviously,
what was it going to be otherwise?
He didn't care anything else. He was like, anything else. He goes, we'll figure it out. So we did a coin flip. I won 2 out of 3. And he was so pissed. It was so funny. But now he says, "Hey man, you're right."
Grew on him. Plus, you can remember it.
Yeah.
You know, if people come to town, where are you going? Oh, heading out to Vegas, dude. You got to go to the Peppermint Hippo.
Yeah, dude. Well, dude, it was in South Park. They have it. South Park has it in their video games. You know what I mean? It's been on.
Do they try to mess with you for like some sort of IP infringement?
No, man. Well, I'm in a loss with Rhino, but I'll tell you about that. But South Park, no, those guys came in to the club before.
But you would think like they would be pissed.
No, dude, they're running skits and parodies and comedy and funny shit, right? They're not. I was like, there was always a thing in my back of my head. I was like, hey man, am I gonna get sued by South Park? But I was like, dude, it's just a bunch of cool dudes like busting balls and cracking jokes. They're gonna think this is funny. Exactly what I thought. They thought it was funny.
What about cocktails? Can you name them like Cartman?
No, I don't. We haven't done that. We just did the name, and that was just funny enough.
What is the markup on a drink in there?
I don't know, man. A drink, each individual drink probably costs us $1, if that. Selling for $10 to $15. You know, a bottle.
That's all of Vegas now, though.
Yeah, it's all of Vegas.
Dude, when I first moved here, it was 99-cent drink everywhere. Steak and eggs, $1.99. Dude, everything was cheap because they wanted you to gamble.
Yeah, so like, you know, even when I first came back to Vegas after I was moving around opening clubs, I was at Caesars and I got a Corona. It was like $18. I was like, dude, what is going? You know, you're used to it at a nightclub, but just at the regular bar, it's $18. I was like, dude, what the hell's going on? So,
plus valet, bro.
Yeah, $40 to park.
Yeah, it's like what?
Mm-hmm.
And people are dumb enough and wanting to gamble enough to where it doesn't even matter.
No, it doesn't.
I wonder if I owned a casino, how much extra money that put in their pockets. Because one day valet was free.
Yes.
And the next day valet was not free, and neither was parking.
Yeah.
Like you could park for free and you could valet for free. And when people wouldn't valet, I'd be like, dude, why don't you valet? And they're like, well, dude, I mean, I you know, it's cheaper to park. I'm like, dude, it's free. Yeah, but you got to tip them and all that.
Yeah.
It's like, who cares? But at the end of the day, man, overnight one time, just boom, parking, and you got to pay. It's like crazy, dude. I thought, man, the balls on these people.
Yeah, you know, I think it really hurt Vegas too, right? Because it killed I would say the lower end or the middle tier people that just come here and have fun. We'll come here with, you know, $200, $300, $400 and just have a good time and come to Vegas, right? Because Vegas has everything, but they made it so expensive. It killed that base. You know what I mean? So the people have money, they don't care.
You see on social media nowadays that I've seen a couple of spots where it's almost like Vegas is a ghost town. Their tourism's ending. Dude, it's packed everywhere I go.
No, that's not true. Obviously, they do it because it gets more hits and more likes or something like that. But yeah, that's not true at all.
How many people are in Peppermint Hippo like per night, do you think? How many people do you see? Thousands?
No, not per night, but you know, it's in the hundreds for sure. Yeah,
every single night. Is there some nights better than others?
Yeah, weekends for sure, right? Like it's like, you know, Vegas. There's more people here on weekends than they are on weekdays.
When fights happen, does it load up?
Yeah.
So tourism is important to you.
For sure. Yeah. It's everything.
And as I'm asking these questions, I always think in my head, what would I do if I were him? I haven't really thought of any yet, but because normally I'll give the people on the show all kinds of tips like, hey, man, have you ever thought about this? They're like, dude, that's a good idea. But when it comes to a strip club, like I'm lost. Like, because I would try to get like the cabs, the Ubers, and everybody to know and bring them.
Yeah.
Because if you can get those flowing, where it doesn't matter what cab you get in or what Uber you get in, they're bringing you here.
Yep. That's already being done by payouts.
Yeah, but like you said, that's ending.
Yeah, that is. It's still there, but it's like it doesn't make sense because everyone's basically paying pretty much the same now. So it's the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's you know, what we do is we do social media is our big one. Social media, and then obviously Google reviews and stuff like that. And our internal marketing, like we actually go to the casinos, you know, on the promotions, and we have a couple guys or a couple girls go out and just meet and greet, you know, everyone, you know, all the bartenders, the managers and stuff like that, and take care of them. You know, we'll tip them well, we'll buy drinks, We'll take care of them. Hey, come to our club. We'll comp them a bottle. We'll do stuff like that. It's just basically like shaking hands.
Just like a nightclub.
Yeah.
And so you're going to turn the Hippo into a nightclub / strip club.
Yeah. It's already kind of going that way anyway, but it's definitely.
Well, that's probably why it's popular.
Yeah, it is.
Because again, I was at 11 in Miami. Shit, I don't even know how long ago it was. I fucking Sean Combs was in there.
Yeah, that's a different level though. 11 is just a monster. I mean, but you know, I talked to Gino before, and he was like, "Hey, man, this wasn't built overnight either." So they took a while to build that club too.
Yeah, but it was like freaking. I thought to myself when I first saw that, I'm like, "This is genius, dude."
Oh, dude, yeah,
you're going there as a nightclub, but it's also a strip club.
Yeah,
and it was popping.
Hundreds of girls in there walking around. Beautiful,
smart idea, and the pricing was just like a strip club.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember going into strip clubs where they'd want you to buy them a drink.
Oh yeah, that's a whole nother.
And they'd get paid.
Yeah,
that's drinks.
A whole nother. We don't do that, but so like what happens is the girl will be there and they'll be like, "Hey, can you buy me a drink?" And it'll be like $15 or whatever, and the girl will end up getting like $3 or $5 from it each time.
So are the women allowed to drink if they want?
Yeah.
So they can do whatever they want?
Yeah, they're independent contractors.
Do you ever see any cat fights?
Of course. Yeah.
Is there
full-on brawl sometimes in
drama?
Yeah. I mean, anytime you get over hundreds of girls together with alcohol, of course there's going to be drama once in a while.
Do you have any that you had to fire because they're just alcoholics?
Yeah.
Or they get sloshy drunk?
Oh, dude, we had this one girl. She's great. She's a friend of mine still. But see, one time she grabbed a rocks glass. So this wasn't my club. This is when I was host. And chucked it at a customer, right? So she missed. So now we're like, what the heck? We're kicking her out. So the rock glass rolls back to her. She grabs it again and hits him right in the head with it. Well,
is that a lawsuit?
Yeah, of course. So she was terminated immediately.
What kind of liability do you got to worry about at these strip clubs?
A lot. It's like a bar too, but you know, I mean, we do typically a lot higher volume than most places.
Let's see what my team decided to ask you, because now I asked you everything I wanted to know.
Okay.
Let's see what they said. So you moved to Vegas in 2005 and answered a Craigslist gentleman's club ad. Most people would think that's a sketchy move. What made you take that leap? Why would it be sketchy?
I don't know.
Like, dude, for a freaking 20-year-old or in your 20s, that wouldn't be a sketchy move. That would be the most ideal position on the planet. And to be honest, I freaking applied a couple times and didn't get the job. That's why I said, well, how'd you get the job?
Yeah.
I figured like maybe I wasn't big enough. Maybe I wasn't freaking.
It's you know what? It's luck and timing. You know, when I got hired in my next job at Sapphires, it was just luck and timing, man. They were going through they were firing half because they were in a lawsuit against the two owners were in a lawsuit fighting against each other, and the one won out, and they fired everybody. And I came in right before they got rid of half the staff, so they had to fill up positions. So mine was just luck and timing.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah, I applied a couple times because, like I said, the reason I came to Vegas was my buddy was a bouncer or a host, as they're called.
Yeah.
It wasn't a strip club. I don't know if you remember them, but they were called something. They were little. They were in strip malls. You walk in, it looks like a club. They tell you to buy them a drink. They tell you to do this, and it was really they worked the customers for money.
Yeah.
And then you would, get booted out the back somehow.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a strip club. It was like I forget what they called it, but that's where he worked. And you would go in there and you would think it's a strip club when it's not a strip club.
Yeah.
And they would let you think, oh yeah, go in the old VIP room and you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, when you went in there, you couldn't do what you wanted.
Yeah.
And so you had to be big to work there because a lot of people got pissed.
Yeah.
So I wasn't big, so he couldn't get me on there. Then I'm like, well, shit, dude, I'll just go apply at a normal strip club. I went to 2 and they said, they didn't call me back. They interviewed me. And I'm like, dude, fuck this. How do you get a job at a strip club?
Oh, dude, we would get hundreds of applications a day, like literally a day.
I wonder what my life would be. I probably would have ended up owning them too.
Yeah.
But it would have been the best time of my life.
Dude, I had the best time of my life in my 30s, dude.
Maybe that's God not putting me there.
Yeah. Maybe.
Because I was girl crazy, bro. I was, I thought I was slick. Again, my ethics and integrity really didn't start coming into play until around, I'd say 28, 29, 30.
Yeah.
For some reason, I grew up or just kind of changed my tune a little bit. But back when I was applying, I think I was like 23, 24. It wasn't long after I moved here.
Oh, yeah. You would have went crazy.
Dude, I would have freaking been dealing drugs, freaking humping chicks, freaking, rolling the dude. I probably would have been the one giving someone to knock them out and get their dough. No, I wasn't that bad. But I definitely, things happen for a reason. Let's just say. Great. All right. 2018, you're in Toledo, Ohio, launching your first club. First of all, why Toledo?
It's the only thing I could afford. Put it that way. Like I looked for, because I was leaving Vegas and I was looking at every place I wanted to move to before California went completely crazy. But obviously I want to be Cali, Arizona, Florida, Texas, all the places I would like to live in. And the only thing I could afford was Toledo, Ohio. And that's why I went there.
Did you look at all the other places for an option?
Yeah.
They just didn't exist.
It's just I just didn't have the money. Them. Yeah, I just couldn't afford them.
Because there's dive bars, dive strip clubs almost in every town, isn't there?
Yeah, but I only had 400,000. So
you can't even buy a dive for that.
Well, I ended up. It wasn't a dive, but I ended up buying a club. Yeah, but it was in Toledo, Ohio. Yeah, you could find them. They're just not going to be where you want to live.
So how long did you stay in Toledo?
I was there almost a year, and then I ended up being a GM for Rick's RCI in Chicago, and then I was buying my second club in Neenah, Wisconsin at the time. That's my first Peppermint Hippo.
Neenah.
Yeah. Again, middle of nowhere.
Is that your investment play? Small towns?
Initially, yes. So those were all very small raises. I mean, my first one, like I said, we only had 400,000. My second one, same thing, 400,000. My third one was when it started getting into the millions. It was 2.2 million at that time. Was the owner ever willing to carry all of it? Have you ever tried that? No, they'll never carry all of it.
Well, why?
Because why would they? It's like if you destroy the club, then they get a crappy club.
How do you destroy the club?
I mean, you could steal everything out of it. You could run the girls off by being just an asshole or something, being a perv or something stupid like that.
And that shit happens?
Oh yeah, sure.
And you opened the Vegas club in 21?
Yeah.
Seems like it's been around longer than that.
No.
And it's the only club on the strip.
Yeah.
That's a bonus.
Yeah. It's an old OGs. So I'm sure you remember that back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they had a male review there one time where a buddy of mine danced.
Yeah, upstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they still do it. Are they still in existence?
Yeah, they do it.
Still there?
Yeah, we have one. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Upstairs. Yeah.
Oh, so that's yours now?
Yeah, Peppermint. Yeah, OGs. Yeah, we bought the building. Yeah.
I'll be damned.
Yeah.
I'll be damned. OGs. Yeah. I used to frequent your building.
Yeah, dude, it was awesome.
But that's the only one on the strip? I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, it's the only one.
That's a plus.
It's huge, yeah.
And as it continues to build that way north, that helps everything.
For sure, yeah.
Do you think the renovation of downtown helped?
Yeah, for sure. And they're gentrifying it all, right? So the arts district and everything. So that's coming on. They're going from the north to the south and south and south to the north. So which is nice.
What's the real estate play? Like buying the building is also value.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. We put an option on that. Bought it for 12.5 and it's valued at over 18 million now.
See, but when you buy the business, do you have to buy the club or
the building?
I mean, when you buy the business, do you have to buy the building or a lot of times it's leased?
Either or. Majority of the time we own it or we have the option for it. Yeah.
When you say we, do you have a big group now that does all this?
Oh, when I say we, it's like it's in like me and like my investors. Yeah. I have a big investment pool. I don't really take on new investors anymore for that level. Just because it's paying to deal with a lot of people. So when it first started, it was all like literally my friends and all the strip club people that I work with. And they're all each putting $50K, whatever they can to scrounge up and invest into the clubs. So that's how it all started.
And then you took over Cheetahs, which was another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
So you're just buying all the favorites.
Yeah.
But Cheetahs, it says here, was struggling.
So yeah, Cheetahs was struggling for a while. They sold to Library, which is a brand in
I've been on, that's the way out in like Boulder Highway.
Yeah, it's a different library though. Is one out of California.
Oh.
So they came into Vegas and they're like, hey man, who doesn't want to be in Vegas market, right? Well, they didn't understand. This is what I'm guessing. They didn't understand the market real well with the cab payouts. And it just didn't work out for them. They tried for a few years, and the owner was like, dude, get me out of this place. So we ended up buying that club also.
And right now that's the Las Toxicas.
Yeah, this is our Latin brand, Las Toxicas.
So it's mainly Latin.
It's all Latin. I mean, as far as like the music is Latin, all the staff is Latin. They're bilingual. You know what I mean? The entertainers are mostly Latin. But yeah, we
does it draw all the Latinos?
Yeah, because it's focused for that brand. Is it
reminiscent of a Mexican strip club?
Yeah, like Mexico or Panama or something like that. Yeah, it's just because all the music is Latin too. So like when you go in there, I wanted to make sure it was not, we did it so it was like it didn't have to compete against number one my other club Hippo, but all the rest of the clubs too. So we don't pay cabs, we don't pay limos, we don't pay nobody. We dropped the prices down and we made it sure that it was like, hey, it's good for local friendly and people that like Latin girls, which a lot of people like Latin girls.
Sure. Yeah. But you don't have to be Latin, obviously. If you like Latin girls, you go there.
Correct. Yeah.
But mainly the Latinos who, prefer to speak it, and
yeah, there's a lot of people that can't speak English.
Prefer
right?
Latin music.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. You don't see a lot of that. What gave you that idea?
Actually, there is a club in Vegas that I went to that had that is in North Las Vegas, right? And I was like, why is this place busy? This is like not in a great area and had a lot of cute girls too. And so I just basically took that model and made it better and brought it to the Strip, better location, better operations.
Right now, this Tradewinds deal, how did you convince anyone that a gentleman's club business should be publicly traded?
So they actually came to me.
I was going to say, like, that's why I say I don't usually read these. Yeah. They're just in case, because like, that's obvious.
Yeah,
like,
they came to me, I know the
I didn't know you could invest in strip clubs.
Yeah, RCI is publicly traded.
Really?
Yeah, it's the only one.
And they're all strip clubs.
Yeah, they do hospitality with a strip club, and then they have a restaurant brand too, which I think it's called, I don't know.
Well, restaurants not as no pun intended sexy as strip
not as lucrative
clubs
either for the most part.
That's what I mean. Like a strip club to me is like, if that's a no brainer. Mm-hmm. As long as you got good operators,
yeah,
you're making money
for sure.
The question is how much?
Yeah,
you're getting paid on that one. Oh yeah. So you're in an industry that a lot of people judge or don't understand. So how do you deal with that? That's a good one. Like, do you get any shit?
No, I mean, not anymore. I mean, it's if people ask me what I do, I told them I own a chain of adult clubs. A lot of times they don't ask me more questions about it than like giving me a stigma.
Why don't you just call them nightclubs?
Because they're not nightclubs.
Sure they are.
Well, it's with strippers.
It's a club and it's at night.
Yeah, it's true.
Who cares if there's strippers there? There's strippers at nightclubs too.
There is. Yeah. I used to ring them.
You just can't get them to work.
I know, right?
But I mean, if I got the shit, I'd just say, yeah, I own a chain of nightclubs.
Yeah. Well, I don't really get shit because, like, if I go to Vegas, the first thing they're asking me is like, well, how is it?
No, well, this is Sin City.
Yeah, that's why nobody
cares here.
No.
But you get out in the Bible Belt and it's like, you own what?
Yeah, well, I don't live there. So
God's going to punish you. How do you pick a town, or do you just pick the business?
Well, initially it was basically what I could afford. So
but you're beyond that.
Yeah.
Now how do you pick? Where you want to be?
Yeah, where I want to be, like big cities.
Which markets do you think are the best?
Well, Vegas and Miami are the two number 1 and 2. You know what I mean? But then Texas is great too. You have Dallas, Houston. We're going to open up a club in Houston.
You come up with your own names, or are they all going to be Peppermint Hippo?
They're all either Peppermint Hippo or Las Toxicas. Yeah, we're doing, like, our Houston club is going to be that. And then we have we're opening a club in Bourbon Street too in New Orleans. So
I mean, if you really want funny names, like, you could open up a chain and just have funny names that are all funny.
Oh, dude, I have
Stinky Puss.
I don't do that because you got to advertise. But I did the Wintergreen Walrus too. I trademarked that, right? But I'm in a lawsuit with Rhino about the IP, so it's retarded.
But why? It's not even the same.
I don't know, dude. Well, I used to work for them, so they might be a little bit
That
upset.
that's probably why it is.
Yeah.
Hey, bitch, you took our shit and flipped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah. So they're butthurt.
But you could come up with some funny names if you want to be funny.
Oh yeah.
I could think of a bunch. I wouldn't use stinky puss. That was a joke. But like I like lust. I mean, because it kind of sounds like what it is.
Yeah.
The Peppermint Hippo, you may not realize that's what it is. So I would think, I wouldn't name it that because no one will know what it is.
Yeah.
But turns out it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
They
matter.
still know what it is, and it's growing. It's the top rated club in Vegas.
Yeah. On Google. Yeah.
See
That and Las Tacos. Those two are the 1 and 2.
I'll be damned.
Yeah. They're both mine. So it's great.
Do you have a goal of like being the lord of
The Lord of Strip Clubs.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Let's say Sapphires wanted to sell. Would you be like, yeah?
I mean, they would want a lot of money for Sapphires, but
Would you change the name?
No, I wouldn't change the game. I'm looking at a couple more clubs too in Vegas too.
Do casinos allow strip clubs inside?
No.
I wonder why. That would be a good casino.
Well, of course, but because they're publicly traded, a lot of them.
So what? You're about to be publicly traded.
Yeah, but a lot of times they have the sin policy under their board or something.
Dude,
like
it's
that.
a strip club, not a brothel.
I know, it's weird. The same reason
They're
why
serving alcohol.
we can't get financing for banks.
There's weed legal, and you
Yeah.
can't go freaking sit at a strip club and throw a few ones, make it rain.
Yeah, you can't do it, man.
All right, well, let me wrap it up because I know we've been, and I didn't I didn't say that you'd be here longer than you have already, so I appreciate it. But one more question: when guys go into the strip club and they try to make it rain,
Yeah.
stupid idea,
No.
appreciated, or you look like an idiot because number one, most of the time they do it, it's ones.
Well, yeah, but they could get like 10,000 in ones.
Yeah, but you don't make it rain for 6 hours straight.
No. What they'll do is they'll take, like, we had guys come in 10, 20, 30K in ones, and they'll blow it pretty quick. So you're talking about if you throw $10,000 in ones, that's going to fill this whole room. So they do that. They'll do it on stage and they'll do a couple girls and boom, 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 boom. And it's just, and listen, I know it's $10,000, but like some guys just don't care and it's fun for them. So that's how they won't get private dances or anything, but they'll just blow thousands and thousands of dollars on ones. You know what I mean? To make it rain, have fun for the girls and themselves too.
Oh, damn it. I wait to hear the answer and then I forget the next question that I just had popped up in my head. Where they're doing this.
Yeah.
Like I always thought, like if I ever, tried to do that, I wouldn't do it with ones because aren't these like dancers going like, make me pick up ones?
Well, this you can only get so much out, right? But if you just grab like 100 or a couple hundred and just throw it, that takes half a second. So like boom.
Yeah, but doesn't it ever just clunk right down and you miss the effect of raining money?
No, it spreads out for sure.
Have you ever done it?
Yeah, of course.
Is there a technique to it?
Well, you just grab it and just chuck it, just like almost like a Frisbee.
When these girls are sweeping up the money, is there any rules that we don't know about at a strip club?
Well, hopefully they're not fighting for it is the key. So we make them all split, basically. If they're on stage, they just split for the most part. You know what I mean? Then we have a guy that sweeps it up for them typically, because, don't want the girls crawling on their hands and knees and just moving money around. So we have a guy in there with a broom and puts it all together for them, puts them in garbage bags and goes.
Well, I kind of envy you. You know how you can live vicariously through someone else?
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like if my wife listens to this show, she'll be like, what do you mean you envy him? Well, I mean, because again, that would have been a killer and you've been doing it a while. So you've seen some shit, you've done some shit. Like you're in a good position, I would say. And it sounds like you're about to be in a better position because when this thing goes fully public, dude, there's a lot of astute investors that they don't care what you're doing as long as it's making money and it's legal. And this is making money and it's legal. Yeah. So I think as soon as that gets hit, you're going to have an unlimited ability to scale and grow. And that's when I think you're going to build something just amazing. Because when you don't have a huge budget, you're limited.
Yeah, very limited.
But when you got a huge budget, because if it's all public money, guess what? You gotta use it.
Yep. Sure.
And dude, you can build some amazing shit, some big old amazing concepts. Get the best girls, get the best experience. I'm going to start, now that I know you, I'm going to start thinking up some. I'll text you. I'll be like, hey, have you ever thought about this? Because one time I forget what it was, but I wanted to go to a strip club and see if I could sell the club on doing something with the strippers. I can't remember what it was, but I'm always thinking business ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this would be perfect for strippers. Maybe I get a club to let me in and talk to all their strippers. Because you have what, hundreds?
Thousands. Yeah. I think, I don't know, maybe like across my company, probably have like 3,000 or 4,000.
Okay. So here's a quick idea. If I had 1,000 strippers in my phone, I would try to, if you don't want to come to the club, maybe I'll send them to you. Is that legal?
No, we don't try to get into that. Like you're talking about sending it to the customers.
Yeah. But like in bulk.
Oh, in bulk. Like
I'm a nightclub and I need men. And by the way, like, how do you get men? Fill it with hot chicks.
So we do that already, right? So like, we'll go out to the nightclubs now, and the nightclub host will text us, hey man, you guys we have a promo table for you, which means, you typically on the dance floor table, can you bring some girls? And we'll bring, 10 to 20 to 30 girls. So we do it like an outing. So it's like fun for the girls. It's fun for the host and fun for the staff there too, So we do that now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But we try not to get involved into sending it to a customer's house or their party or anything. I was like, we're not doing that. Yeah.
What's the diff?
Huh?
What's the diff?
Well, if something happens, we might be liable. And if they do something, we might be liable. So
now what about those trucks and those billboards that drive up and down the street? Do you have any of those?
We advertised on them before. Yeah.
They work?
It's hard to know. It's hard to tell, right? It's just basically eyes on you.
What about the dudes on the street, doing that?
Oh, the cards?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're the street promoters. They do work. They bring in people. The quality's not the best.
If anyone's listening that has a killer idea for you, you want to hear from them?
Of course.
So where do they go? At Peppermint Hippo LV?
Yep. Let's go to the website.
Folks, at Peppermint Hippo LV or thepepperminthippo.com. I don't know if there's an idea box, but you seem like the guy that like, hey, listen, you're open-minded, you're about ready to crush it. And if you got an idea, you want to be a bouncer. How many bouncers you need? Any hosts?
It just depends. Depends on when
Well, you're not looking.
No, we're not. We don't.
This ain't the right time.
Yeah, we don't need to look.
Well, folks, normally I bring you someone who's looking for something. He ain't looking for nothing. He's just telling his story. If you come to Vegas and you want to know where to go, fuck what the cab driver says. Peppermint Hippo's where you want to go. This is dude you want to follow, Allan Chang. Go to at Peppermint Hippo LV. We'll get you a personal one eventually. Yeah. And then, folks, as always, until next time, keep it real.